So, folks, I am back at it again with another wonderful call from the Transatlantic Call-In Show, a show that I co-host over on The Line. I recommend you all go check it out. Link down in the description below, along with a link to the original episode where this aired. I'm a co-host on this show in this particular episode with Dr. Ben, wonderful, insightful, knowledgeable man. Go check it out. It's wonderful. Got some contentious calls, got some friendly calls, got some really constructive calls. Go check out The Line. They have many other shows over there as well. And also, of course, check out the Transatlantic Call-In Show. It's every week on Thursdays. Go check it out. And, like, comment, subscribe, hit the like button here, hit the like comments over there as well. And comments longer than 8 words, obviously helping the algorithm a little bit better. But all that being said, subscribe to both channels too. It's just one click. Boom, 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 boom. Go do it. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to click buttons. And if this show sounds interesting, make sure to check us out live every Thursday. And also, if you got questions or you got comments or you got things you want to debate about trans people, call in. That's the entire point of the show. It is a call-in show where anything you want to ask about trans people is on the table. So go do that. And I hope you enjoy this call.
Let's go with Dale, pronouns they, any, from Virginia. Dale, you are live
Hello.
on the line with Dr. Ben and Riverboat Jack. What do you want to talk about today?
Howdy.
Hiya. So I'm agender, recently determined, and I'm struggling. Well, like many non-queer people, I struggle still with separating sex and gender for myself and for others, and this saddens me and frustrates me. And a lot of it is conditioning. But then, within queer culture, you still have people with strong gender expression, like I am confidently female, I am confidently male, I'm confidently non-binary. And even I find non-binary people have, at least that I've interpreted, perhaps incorrectly, a specific vibe and aesthetic. Like I've rooted in my brain, unfortunately, that non-binary means assigned female at birth, perhaps a little bit of HRT, and like mask presenting, and like neutral colors and or wacky clothes, but like very little assigned male at birth, non-binary representation. And I don't know, I'm just confused as heck right now trying to figure all this stuff out.
I definitely see where you're coming from with the fact that there is not a lot of good representation for the full spectrum of non-binary identities. And that's something that our community can definitely work on, for sure. I think I know this would be a great conversation for Lux when it's on, but I know some of that description, I know Lux does not fit. So that might be something you should call it about at some point in the future as well. But Riverboat Jack, did you want to jump in on this one?
I mean, I think that of course, there are folks who, assign male at birth who come out as non-binary. I know several personally. And I would just say there's likely some degree of like patriarchy confining a lot of the identity of folks who are assigned male at birth. And like,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to buck that. Like, I would say that non-binary is actually like quite a huge spectrum when you really start digging into it. There are a lot of different folks who, combine different sorts of typically masculine or feminine, or again, neither traits to kind of come up with their own unique gender expression. And I think that's really cool. And I likewise I think it's great that there's space for folks like you who kind of vibe with none of that and want to go do your own thing, you know? And I just think that let's not be too hasty to like throw all non-binary people into the same pot, because I feel like I I feel like trans femmes, trans masks, like those can be like a little bit more distinct because we know kind of what that is signifying generally speaking, but like non-binary folks, like they're out there doing all kinds of stuff and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I I see them, and I see that they exist and that there's a wide variety of them. I just happen to have encountered a specific example of it in person and in media
I
enough
see.
that my autistic brain, which craves pattern recognition and craves
Yeah.
consistency, is like, there's something to grab onto, you know, and and then subsequently for myself, if I'm desperate for people to not think I'm a straight man. Like that's my whole thing. And as whatever way I can do that effectively has been my journey thus far. And that is extremely non-specific and unhelpful. There are quite a few things that are not straight male. But before I even got into all of this, uh, well, I guess I should say first that back in like the 2016 to 17 anti-feminist era of YouTube, I was one of the I was like on the precipice of what was going to eventually be the right-wing pipeline. In its embryonic stages, I almost fell in. And so that still, the damage from that is still so real, and I'm still undoing so many of the. It was just such an impressionable time for a young brain, and I just got all the wrong ideas, and so that's the foundation that I'm starting from, despite having left leaning parents. But when I have my main friend group here is mostly queer cis women, and I felt like I was invading their space as somebody assigned male at birth. I felt like because men suck so much, and the frustration with wanting a space free from them, and then them getting all pissy, like, well, then I'm going to make a male only space. Let's see how you think about that. There's just all this stuff swirling around in my head, uh, in that regard.
Well, I guess I would say, just as your gender identity is not your sex, um, so too is like that alone should kind of signify that that's not the same thing, right? Like there's not a connection there necessarily, right?
Right.
And
Um,
so like as you like delve more into this, um, you might be seeing like certain patterns, but kind of recognizing that like those patterns are limited by your social experiences and social circles, and like aren't necessarily representative of like the wider communities that exist out there. Maybe that'd be helpful.
yes. My community that I have is very loving and accepting of my non-binariness, and um, are very encouraging. So it's it's not, there is of course a lack of exposure to all the different kinds of communities, but for the one that I do have access to, it is a lovely one, and all of the conflict is within my own head,
I see.
as they have been careful to reassure me of, which I am so very very grateful for. Um, it it truly is I just don't know exactly how to present. That's my big issue, is that, I want people to not assume, because, we're still in a social era of assumption, of gender. And not only do I want to solve that, but I also want to let go of it. And I want to be unbothered by it, because, for all the non-passing queer people out there, that's just their reality. And it's about how they feel. But I don't feel anything from presenting it as anything. So I don't know where to go.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to wear?
I have no idea. That's my big thing. I know that I don't want to make a strong gendered statement.
Maybe it's worth spending effort in thinking about what you want rather than what you don't want. Because I think embracing what you want is going to ultimately yield you better results in the direction that you are trying to go, right? Otherwise, you're just trying to play a guessing game based on a bunch of assumptions of an intended audience that may or may not exist in the first place. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just that I'm so unclear as to what I specifically want. I mean, the example I'll give is wearing femme clothes, and again, in a very loving and accepting space. It's not that I have anything against presenting femme, but it feels exactly like presenting math, where it's
I feel like
very
I feel like maybe I feel like maybe there's too much emphasis of the gender expression or the particular association with certain types of clothing, and maybe that's something that we need to back up from a little bit. Like, maybe instead of focusing so hard on is this femme or masc, think of it as like different categories of aesthetic. Like, think about, oh, is this more of like I don't know, just I'm not good with style, but is this like metalhead style? Is this like tradwife style? I guess that's a bit more gendered. Is this is this more like out in the woods type thing? Is it like city person? I don't know. Like, you have different things that you can think of. What is the style that I'm wearing, and not this is a feminine style or this is a masculine one? Because I think you're trying to break away from this pattern. And I know it's very natural to fall into pattern seeking behaviors. We're very, very good at that. And there's this delicate balance that we play. And it sounds like you're doing the same thing here too, but with less guidance. This idea that you don't want to have to play the game of the broader system. You don't want to opt in to having to chase what is acceptably masculine or feminine so that you're seen in a certain way. Like, you don't want to have to do that. But I feel like there's a sense that you kind of have to in order to break away from being lumped into those categories. But I think in doing that, it may be causing some further frustration. And so maybe and people are going to assume what they want. And some people are going to assume that you're a cis het man. And some people are going to assume that you're gay, and some people made it assume that you're a woman, and people are going to have completely different ideas of who they think you are, and it's going to be impossible to chase down every one of those and prevent people from thinking the wrong thing. So I think, like Jack was saying, focus more on the things that make you feel at ease, even if you don't feel euphoria from any of them. If you just feel comfortable, if you feel normal, like if you wear something and you say, hey, I could wear this again and feel okay. And you can have your different outfit categories. You can say, okay, in a formal setting, this is what I'm most comfortable wearing. In a casual setting, I'm most comfortable wearing this. And maybe just detach the gender association with it and lean on just the style. I think that might help a little bit.
I appreciate that. You're right that I am putting too much emphasis on, is it mask or is it, even as I was describing the stereotype of non-binary people that's formed in my head, I was saying that, they have more mask presenting clothing. Like, what does that even mean? It ultimately is constructs. What I'm comfortable with, like, I don't need. Yeah, I mean, this. I gotta pursue that. I gotta figure out what that is. I mean, so far it's just sweatpants and a t-shirt. I mean, formal, informal.
Hey, that's a style.
Like, that's what I've worn. And it is very, very neutral. But as I navigate queer culture, as I make queer friends, I find myself pretty much the only one who doesn't relate to the way they go about presenting and the way that they feel about this stuff. And I know that we all exist in our different forms. It's just alienating.
And
especially amongst those that I feel closest to.
And maybe starting out with the style that you default to and figuring out, hey, how do I elevate this? What do I do to like add to this in ways that I feel comfortable doing? And like experimenting from there can be really freeing, I think. And like if you find yourself gravitating towards a certain aesthetic kind of culture, that can also maybe be like a category that you can substitute for
right.
the current ones that you're juggling and finding not a lot of success with.
Yeah, and with that too, like you could, if you wear certain things that connect you with other people, like kind of going along with that. If you wear the shirt of a sports team that you like, if you wear the shirt of a band that you like, if you wear that kind of stuff that someone's going to ask you, like, hey, did you see that band? I like that band too. That kind of thing. And then it doesn't need to be gendered. It's just, hey, I like this thing. Other people also like this thing, and we can like this thing at the same time. So maybe you go in that direction too.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I just need to escape the binary. That broadly that applies to that applies to pretty much all of it. Hilarious to think that I used to rally against this as a dumb teenager.
I mean, the call of the category is strong.
Yeah.
Sorry?
The call of category is like that. It can be a really, really strong one. And some people never escape it. So good on you for doing the work and figuring yourself out.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's a struggle. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's so much more painful than I would have ever imagined.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
Hell yeah.
Well, I really
anything else we can help you with?
I think that's about it. I got a lot to think about.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in, and definitely give us some updates if you learn some more about yourself and want to share.
Thank you. What was that show that you said they'd be on? They'd be great to talk to about that. What was that one?
Oh, it's our show, this show, but Lux is the host, Luxander or Lux. It's on not next week. I actually have the calendar pulled up at the end of the month, so the 26th. If you want to call back in and get a non-binary perspective, I highly recommend it.
Bet. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for your call.
You guys as well. Cheerio.
Bye. Hey. Well, here we are again. End of the episode. But you know what? It doesn't have to be the end of the calls that you watch, because you can click a link down in the description to the full episode where you can watch all of the calls all at once, some that may not have even come out yet on this channel. So go do that if you're interested. Otherwise, well, not otherwise. Also, hit the like button here. Leave a comment what you thought about the call down below here. Comments longer than 8 words really help. And also leave a comment over there, because comments help that show to grow too. And our goal is to grow both these shows. So also call in, of course, every Thursday if you feel inclined. Yeah, Yeah. Also, there's merch. I don't know that I've mentioned that there's merch yet. There's merch. If you look down below, there's merch and a Patreon for the line. Go check it out, and we could do more cool stuff. I don't know. How's your day going? Good. I hope. This is a good outro, and I hope you all have a good day. Let's keep on going. Why was I vamping for like a whole minute? I don't know. Oh, God.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube and swishy streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, and plenty more. Your sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Riverboat Jack.